At Inesfly Africa, we produce paints that has the ability to kill all crawling and flying insects whilst keeping your house new and fresh as ever.
My name is Michael Shodin, and I'm extremely proud of being part of a team leading the chart against vector-borne diseases in Ghana, but also in whole African continent, such as malaria, dengue fever, and yellow fever. So Inesfly Africa is a local manufacturing company based in Accra, where we produce our range of products within the field of public health, hospitality, agriculture, animal health, and many other fields.
Let's go in the manufacturing plant, shall we? Inesfly Africa has so many products for everybody, but today we will appreciate the efforts in producing paints in a 5-liter container.
Basically, this area is where Inesfly products are kept for work in progress. This tank is for keeping treated water. The middle one is for keeping resin, and the last tank here is for keeping also resin. So we have 2 tanks for keeping resin. This is the additive hopper area where all the liquid additives are kept, and everything is automated, and it is into production as and when it is needed. And as you can see, we have the powder hopper also here with a bucket elevator, which takes the powder from the powder hopper to the bucket elevator. And during production, the powder is loaded here. There will be a loader here who loads the powder here. Then it goes into the powder hopper to the bucket elevator into the hydrovide. And everything is fully automated. And human activity is minimal. This tank is the processing tank for production. It takes the components from the work in progress area, like the water, additive, and the powders. When mixing is done here and it's completed, the quality comes in to check the quality of the products. When it's okay and it meets the specification, then command is issued and it's transferred here from here to this tank or that tank, depending upon which product we are producing for filling to commence. This area is the filling section where the products are bucketed. This machine is the bucket dispenser, and this is the filling machine where we have the weight indicator to indicate the amount of products that goes into a bucket. After filling, the lid is placed by the lid placer here. Then it goes with the aid of the indexing pin on the conveyor. Then it goes to the sealer. Then it seals the bucket correctly. Then it goes out of the filler on the roller conveyor. Then it is packed on the pallets as final products. This is our color making machine for producing different shades of colors. Per customer preference, we input the code as I've done here, you can see. Then you give the command. Then the right pigment will be tinted into the buckets as it is being seen now. After the pigments have been dispensed, then we take the bucket out. Then we take it to the shaker with the lid placed on it firmly. We open our shaker. Then we insert our bucket. Now we put the bucket into it. We close it. Then we select the time that we want the bucket to be shaken. So this is 50 seconds. Starts. This is the shaker to get the shade of color after you have dispensed the tint into the buckets. So after shaking, you will see the shade, the correct shade that you requested for. So we wait for 50 seconds, then we see how it looks like. This is the shade that the customer wants.
After production, a sample of the paint is taken by staff to the quality control lab for testing.
We check the viscosity of the paint. The reason why we check the viscosity, we want to ensure that it's thick enough to ensure that the coverage that we are talking about for whoever is using our paint, the person gets the right coverage for your surface. From there, we move on to do the drawdown. The drawdown is also to check the fineness of the sample. We do this one and then find out whether there are any particles on it. And then from there, when we dry it, we check it and then we see that it's smooth. And then we ensure that we have a very good sample. From there, we check the pH. For the pH, we want to ensure that the pH, which is either the acidity or the basicity of the paint, is okay. We want to ensure that the paint is not too acidic or is not too basic for the surfaces that we are going to do the application on, and for all our other products, to ensure that the products that we are sending is right with the different surfaces. Then we move on to check the density of our product. The density helps us to know the specific gravity, to be able to know the quantity of paint to disperse in the production. When they are doing the filling of the buckets, they're able to give the right quantity so that the consumer gets the right quantity of paint for his use.
After the containers are filled with paint, they are wrapped and moved to the warehouse where they await for their journey to the market.
This is the finished goods warehouse where all the finished products are kept for distribution.
A product that has the Ghana Standard Authority certification always has a greater chance of survival. The GSA takes careful measures to ensure the quality of all consumer products and processes involved in testing is very thorough.
Inesfly paints comes in two forms, the interior and then the exterior. They both contain chemicals that kills mosquitoes and other insects. For them, we do the normal paint analysis, and then also we do what we call efficacy test, as well as testing the active ingredients in the sample, what makes them unique.
When we want to do the testing, mainly the efficacy parts, that means how to test if the paint can actually kill the mosquito. First of all, we need to get, because it's a lab analysis, we need to get our cages, the mosquito cages, where we're going to breed the mosquitoes, where we'll also paint inside and check if the paint actually can kill the mosquitoes. So first of all, you need to get your larvae, your mosquito larvae, from waste water and stagnant waste water. So when you get it, you bring it into the lab. After getting your larvae, you go ahead with the painting of the cages, the inside, with the Inesfly Insecticide paints. After painting, then you can introduce the larvae in the container into the cages. And when you introduce them, it will take a minimum of 3 to 5 days for the mosquitoes larvae to grow into the actual mosquitoes. After they are grown, we test 24 hours. We check after 24 hours. When they grow the same day, the next day we'll go and check. Then we'll go and count number of mosquitoes that are dead.
using some paints until we've been introduced to Inesfly. We are talking about a project that's about 7,000 square meters of area that we are going to use paint we're going to paint. So you can imagine we using a paint and then decided that now we are going to use Inesfly. What it means that there is some things that we've seen or we have experienced with Inesfly. That's why the management decided that we go with Inesfly, of course with my input. So like I said, there are some qualities that Inesfly have that other paints as I use so far do not have. Sometimes people try to complain about the smell, but because of the formulation of the paint, when you paint it, at least you leave the room and open the windows for the air to blow for maybe for a day. You are good to go. You can go and use the room. You will not have any problem with the smell. As you see, we use it here. We painted the whole ceiling and the wall, but you cannot feel any serious smell from the paint. It's good. The color, they have very beautiful colors, and so actually the colors are what encourage the MD to want to go with Inesfly. So yes, Inesfly is a very good paint, as I've experienced myself so far. When you put the first and the second coat, it's as beautiful as a silk, as like a stick paint, and also easy to wipe if you get dirty. As we experienced so far, if you get dirty, you can just take some water, just clean it, and that's it. So Inesfly is a very good paint. That's why we have to disregard other paints and go with Inesfly now.
I used to use sprays, okay, mosquito sprays. I'm not a big fan of coils. I've never been because of the smoke aspect of it. I was doing all kinds of sprays and I tried everything from spray A to spray Z. So I was introduced to the Inesfly brand without actually knowing that I was being introduced. I'm a filmmaker. We went off to shoot at this location, this house. And usually when we're shooting beyond 6 o'clock, we are bombarded and we are attacked by these mosquitoes and insects all over the place. But in this particular place, this house, nothing was happening. So I kept on saying, what's going on? What's going on? And I remember the owner of the house saying that, I'm using this paint, and I was like, okay, what paint? And then he mentioned it, but I wasn't even paying attention. But the only thing that I remember was like, okay, there's some magical paint that is doing this. A few months later, a friend of mine actually just handed me one and said, try it. So that's how I was introduced. I was introduced to Inesfly brand twice. I have used the paint. I've used the paint because I was in dire need of painting my house. And, at that particular time I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of money buying paint anymore. Let me just have this experience, okay? So the entire house, exterior and some of the interior, it's been painted with Inesfly paint, and it's been about 2 months since the painting was done, and I have to say the end result has been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. There are a lot of trees on the compound of my house, so it harbors a lot of insects, mosquitoes especially. And in the past, I've also used a lot of these insecticide sprays, so we do this perhaps every 3 days. But we hardly ever stay outside. We hardly ever hang out. Beyond 6 o'clock, we don't spend any time at all outside of the house. But all of that has changed, okay? And now we're actually able to hang out outside of the house beyond 6 o'clock because it is actually very quiet. I remember one time I was coming home and our security, who would usually be having their cloth and slapping themselves off, trying to avoid the mosquitoes, where the guy was actually very relaxed. For a moment, I thought he was asleep. So I came in and I was like, okay, so how is the experience? What is it like? And it was like, oh, huge difference. Obviously, if I have to spray my house, especially the exterior, you have to spend a lot of money doing it. And with Inesfly paint, it's just a one-off. We've painted 2 months now, and I'm still enjoying the results, of using this paint. Seriously, for a pest-free life, you need to get Inesfly into your home and your offices. Okay, I have tried it. I've used the paint, and I'm telling you, it works. It's like magic. Okay, so to avoid malaria and all of those diseases, having cockroaches in your kitchen and all the lizards around, I think you definitely need to make that call. So call them on 030228422 and have a very peaceful home and office life. Fantastic.
So in a very cost-effective way, you can actually treat your home with Inesfly paint, and that is not only high-quality paint, but also, as I mentioned earlier, a slower release formulation built into the paint that actually allows you to enjoy a mosquito-free zone for up to 2 years. I'm also very happy to announce that we have a very close collaboration with WHO, and also that we are in the startup phase of executing a number of corporate social responsibility programs in Ghana 2016 and on.
Inesfly Africa Limited has exterior paint, bed bug solution spray, 2-in-1 floor cleaner, car solution spray, insect repellent body spray, EM house for wooden surfaces and textiles, SP coating for surfaces like tiles, stones, and metals which cannot be painted, Ines Palm for controlling palm tree insects pests. So there is an Inesfly product for you out there. Go get a paint from Inesfly. Keep your house clean and kick those insects out with the same paint. Inesfly, we put knowledge into action.